Note that only one member of the media is here from Ashtabula Current.
And Chat TV.
On behalf of the defense, you filed motions. Do you have copies of these, Mr. Scarcella?
I do. Motion 29, I will serve with a copy this afternoon.
What about starting with motions 22?
Yes, we do have copies of those.
Okay, I'm going to go through those individually. The defense motion 22 was a motion to permit meaningful voir dire pursuant to Morgan versus Illinois. Do you plan on filing a written response?
Your Honor, we have no objection to a meaningful voir dire. We also would like the opportunity to speak to the potential jurors in this case, depending on how the court wishes to process voir dire. We don't have any objection today. Okay.
Mr. Grant, if he's not objecting, I'm not going to let you argue him, okay?
Judge, I'll remain mute happily.
Defense motion 23, motion for individual sequestered voir dire.
Judge, we would not necessarily oppose that. We would leave that to your discretion as to how you want to handle voir dire. If you want to do individual voir dire or small group, we would leave that to your discretion.
So you're not objecting, but you just...
We will leave
agreeing, but you're not objecting.
We'll leave it to your discretion.
There was the states, I'm going through my log, supplemental response to defendant's motion for discovery. I've noted that as no ruling needed.
In regard to Ms. Snyder, one of her tapes are blank, and Mr. Scarcella indicated that you take care of that, rectify that problem.
Okay, and if there is an issue, you will timely bring it to my attention.
We will.
Okay. Defense motion 24, motion for court to follow standard for death qualification of the near persons. Mr. Scarcella, do you want to respond to that?
Your Honor, we would hope that you would follow the proper legal definition of a death qualified juror, so we don't have any objection to that.
Okay, defense motion 26, motion to prohibit any references to first phase of proceedings as guilty phase.
No objection, Your Honor.
Defense motion 27, motion eliminate to prohibit victim impact evidence during trial, and if necessary, the mitigation phase.
Your Honor, the state is aware of the law with respect to what victim impact statement can and cannot be presented both at the first and second phase. We intend to follow the law. If you would want a written response to that, we will be happy to provide it.
Please respond, okay?
Absolutely.
And when will you have that done?
I can have that done by Friday as well, or tomorrow.
Defense motion 28, motion to prohibit references to jury that a death penalty verdict is only a recommendation, or that such a verdict is in any way non-binding.
The state has no objection, Your Honor.
State supplemental response to defendant's motion for discovery. This is the second one that was filed on April 3rd. My understanding, there's no ruling needed on that.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Is that correct, Mr. Grant?
I'm sorry, I was deferring to...
This was the second one, April 3rd. I know you guys were talking, that's fine.
I think, actually, I think the ones we received on April 3rd might have been the ones I just described as not being operative.
Okay, so
with regard, we did receive that, and I discussed with Mr. Scarcella the technical glitch that was involved, and I think he's going to rectify that.
okay. And again, if there's any problem, you're going to let the court know.
Yes, sure.
Right away.
Yep.
Now, you've also filed motion 29, defendant's motion for production of records for the chief of police, warden, or chief correctional officer of the Asheville City Jail, the Geneva City Jail, and the East Cleveland City Jail to produce to Mr. Grant all of his agent records, including medical records for Mr. Lashley. Now, obviously, Asheville and Geneva are within the jurisdiction of this court. What do we do if East Cleveland does not comply?
Anticipating they will, Your Honor. I guess in the worst case scenario, I could issue a subpoena. But they told my investigator they want court orders, but I think we can issue a subpoena in the event that they don't comply with your order. I think they will, though.
Okay. Is there any objection to me approving your order, Mr. Scarsella?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. I will be granting that order then today to help you expedite this matter.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, on behalf of the defense, was there anything else that needed to come to the court's attention at this time?
The only issue we had is, I know Amy Nettles has been working on providing transcripts of the tape statements that have been made in this case. We haven't received any in a while. We're just kind of hoping maybe we can get it.
Did you check with her?
Not since the last pretrial.
Okay, you may want to check with her because, as you know, with the change in judges and staffs, she does not work for me. She works for Judge Cezanne, and I know that she's working hard on it, but I have not been monitoring that because I don't see her on a daily basis.
Should we assume she's still going to complete that task? Or
I'm assuming she will, but you,
I have no problem calling and following.
I am trying not to have conversations with anybody without the lawyers with me.
Understood.
So I have not discussed that matter with her. If you want to talk to her and then report back to the court if there's a problem,
Okay.
Is that fair enough to you?
That's fine. Yes, that'd be fine.
These are questions I'll ask Mr. Lashley, or first I'll ask you, Mr. Grant. You've been meeting with your client. It's my understanding you met with Mr. Lashley today.
That's correct.
Any idea how many times you've met with him, or?
This is the first time we've met with him since the last pretrial, Your Honor. We
Okay.
didn't really have any new information to provide him until today, so.
Okay.
But we've been having regular conversations with Mr. Lashley and seeing him on a regular basis.
Okay, I'm just going to inquire now of Mr. Lashley. Before you answer my question, you can talk to Mr. Grant. You've had a chance to talk to your lawyers in this case?
Yeah, I had a chance.
Okay. So far, you're getting along fine with them?
Yeah,
Okay, and you're satisfied with everything they're doing for you?
yeah,
Okay. And they're treating you okay over in the jail, right?
yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Scarsella, anything that you feel the court needs to cover with those people present in the courtroom?
Briefly, Your Honor, I know where you'll be on Friday the 17th. I will just want the defense counsel to know that Dave Doughton has asked me to be one of the other presenters at that conference, so I don't think there'll be any problem with the defense counsel, but I'll be presenting at that conference as well. So I just wanted there to be everything above board.
Do you guys want to attend?
As long as Dave Dowd's going to be there, we're satisfied.
Okay, he's the state public defender.
No, he's a private attorney.
Okay. Okay.
Well versed in capital litigation.
Okay. So, and I thank you for that because I didn't know you were going to be there. So.
I will be there. So I just wanted everybody to be
And we will
aware.
not have any private one-on-one conversations.
I promise.
Got that. Thank you for that disclosure. And Ms. Snyder, I always seem rude by, I'm not trying to ignore you, but I'm just trying to, anything you wanted to bring to the court's attention?
No, you.
Okay. Well, if there's nothing further, then I will conclude this case and Mr. Lashley can be returned to the jail. So thank you all for attending.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Okay, and I'm just going to stay put as the